Black America seems to have reached the epitome of delusion, believing that Iran, if in fact it were able to reach America with ballistic missiles, would somehow spare Black Americans from the impact of those missiles. These folks literally believe that Iran somehow, some way, will ensure that ballistic missiles or drones would only hit white America and every other ethnic group within America except Black Americans, were they able to gain the capability to reach the shores of the United States of America. That's what we're going to talk about first. Then we're going to talk about FBA, Foundational Black Americans, and their anger at the Houston Rodeo, which has now imposed a dress code due to ghetto skullduggerous behavior on behalf of FBA type Black Americans. Now, Black Americans are one thing. FBA is the ghetto offshoot of that. So I want to make sure that you know that that's two separate entities. There's Black America, then there's the xenophobic hate cult, the xenophobic online hate cult known as FBA. Not the same. But let's tap into the first. Let's tap into the first disgraceful narrative that Black America has jumped onto lately.
What's up, family? Did you know during the 1979 hostage crisis, Iran released all 13 Black American hostages and kept everybody else? I ain't got no problem with that. Now, those claps are not because I'm happy they kept everybody else. Those claps is because they recognize that Black folks was not running the show.
And Iran, like, if you're watching this, like, I just genuinely want to make it clear that you have one target. You have one target. And it's that orange man in the White House. We ain't got nothing to do with this. This man want to start stuff with y'all. We didn't want to do this, y'all. I promise you, it's not us. Like, it's a big old White House in Washington, D.C., baby. That's your target. You can't miss it. It's huge. Just, that's where you need to go. Because we didn't want this. We didn't want this. I'm telling you, we didn't want this. This is Trump's doing. We did not want this. Please spare us. Stop posting timers. We're scared. Please spare us. Thank you.
Iran is the first nation to stand up and say, we're not hurting or harming the Black people. The Black Americans are always done wrong. We're not hurting them. Out of the 60 hostages, 13 of them was Black. The 13 Black hostages were released. They don't want it with us. They said we already had it bad. Everybody always do us wrong.
Too much about Iran. They said that we're cool. They said that we are cool. They said African Americans have been through a lot. So don't say too much. Don't go over there and don't be doing too much. And you know, if you look like us and you wearing that camo, you better not be doing too much.
The Iranian regime had their choice. They would kill every single person in this room.
Remember that earlier in the 20th century, when we initially incited regime change in Iran, there was a hostage situation. Our country removed the Shah and protected him in America. Their country grabbed up U.S. citizens. What happened?
Some Black hostages and some female hostages will be released from the American Embassy compound. Is that true?
The freedom of the women and Blacks will be given. And the Blacks have been oppressed in the United States. Great injustice was done unto them.
Okay, so basically, you get the idea, you get the drift, the gist of what the heck is going on here. Black America basically believes in all of their delusion that somehow, if bombs were dropped on America by Iran, somehow, some way, is my sound okay? Okay, I think I'm all right. But they believe somehow, some way, Iran basically possesses the power of God to say, oh, look, we don't want this bomb to incinerate anybody black. Now the bombs have color coding. They can be aimed at people specifically based on race or ethnicity. This sounds dumb. And the reason they believe this is even dumber. Or I should say we're black, so I'm black. So the reason we believe this is even dumber, because of something that happened in 1979, where Iran released black hostages when they took over the U.S. Embassy during the collapse of the Shah, the overthrow of the Shah. But one of the things that they didn't pay attention to while the light-skinned dude with the tattoos was playing a clip of Khomeini talking to the reporter. Not only were black hostages released, but female hostages were also released. So should white women be in the streets celebrating, saying, Iran, remember you let us go in 1979, so after the United States of America has literally decimated your political ranks, make sure you spare us. It's literally delusional. It's beyond delusion. It's at this point, it's just sick. It's sadistic. Why in the hell would Iran spare just black folks? On top of that, there's all these freaking black people who live in Iran. They're known as Afro-Iranians. They're the remainder of the people who were there, who were brought there as slaves during the Indian Ocean slave trade, and they're treated like absolute crap. So all of a sudden, Iran has all this. I mean, did you guys hear about it today? The Olympic wrestler, the Iranian Olympic wrestler, they just hanged bro by the neck for protesting about the economy. This is why I just have to point out the delusion here. Not only are they killing their own people, 35,000 people killed for protesting about the economy. Then, when America and Israel bomb them, they start indiscriminately bombing other Muslim countries that had nothing to do with America and Israel bombing them, to the point where Saudi Arabia and a few other countries, Azerbaijan, several other countries are like, yo, we about to get off in that ass because y'all tripping. You tripping, fool. We didn't even do nothing to you, and you trying to throw bombs at us. Why would it? This regime has already showed that they're willing to hurt vulnerable populations in an attempt to retaliate against America. So why do you think that you will be spared? My question is, how do you think you will be spared? But it's just, to me, it's like black folks just be kissing every ass that's available in it, thinking that it's like in some way, shape, or form thumbing our nose at America. If anything, if I was another country, I would be like, I would never want to let them over here because they come to this country. I mean, look at the country. They're born in the greatest country on earth, and look at the amount of disloyalty they show to the country. Look at the way they try to make tasteless jokes against the country. Now, of course, we had our tough times in our country, but I would ask you to name me one group of people who didn't have a tough time in their country. Name one group of people who didn't have a tough time in their country. But I think this is kind of treasonous and it's ignorant. And it's just a bad look for the black population of the United States of America. King Face, the economy was made bad by American sanctions. The economy would be bad either way. The economy would be bad. Listen, who cares? Who cares? If you sit up and scream death to America every day and death to Israel and we're going to kill you guys, if you start talking that trash, don't be mad when somebody puts a sanction on you. That's my question. I don't get why Iran wants to play big boy games. But then when we treat Iran like a big boy, everybody wants to start complaining. Iran kills people. Even this douchebag, Joe Kent, the guy who came out and resigned and was like, Trump was dragged into this by Israel. Even that guy is on video a couple of months ago saying Iran is a major threat to American safety and has killed 151 Americans recently. So now he's in all types of trouble because he's literally just saying Iran was a threat like 2 months ago. And now the other day he's like, oh no, Iran is no threat. They're a threat, guys. They kidnap American people. No, 100%, Alan. Iran wants to play these big boy games. And then when the big boys start playing, then they want to start complaining. And the strongest weapon that Iran has, because all they do is talk shit, really. The strongest weapon that Iran has is the treasonous attitude of American citizens and politicians. That's it. Imagine losing, not because you're defeated on the battlefield, but you lose because the people in your own country won't rally behind you to eliminate an enemy that does nothing but wish death upon them. Do you understand that? You got, like I know you guys have tricked yourselves into believing, oh, that's not true. Bro, there are Iranian YouTubers. One of them is Pat Bet David. I know you guys watch Pat Bet David. I know y'all watch, bro. One of them is Pat Bet David. And Pat Bet David even talked about when he was growing up in Iran and how they would force them to say death to America and all this stuff. And bro was like, he didn't even understand why they wanted them to do that. He was even there, I think, during the time when the Shah was overthrown. What country wakes up in the morning? If Iran has a problem with your politicians and your leadership, you could. Everyone knows the president by name. Iran is not screaming death to Donald Trump. Iran is screaming death to America. That means they want to totally incinerate the entire country. They're not just naming people death to Marco Rubio or some crap like that. They're literally identifying the whole country and they want to take you out. I'm sorry, but maybe some presidents were happy with kicking the can down the road, but I'm glad Donald Trump did something. I want to show you guys this. But I don't understand how black Americans think that Iran cares about them when Iran has its own population of blacks. Oh, let me see this. They literally they treat their own black population like shit, but they got you fooled. And that's what I believe is like the real sign of a country that's really just evil. They'll just keep throwing out this propaganda, knowing that what they're saying is a bunch of lies. And the people just too lazy to do research. They'll just keep eating it up. Oh, they must be good because they hate America and we hate America. Come on now. Come on now. You don't hate America. You got your women and children receiving billions and billions of dollars in welfare and entitlements from America. But you hate America. Go to Iran, see what they give you. They're going to do you like they do the blacks in that country. Force you to live on the outskirts of the dam, not on the outskirts of the city. Force you to live on the outskirts of the country, because that's where the black people got to live in Iran, on the coast, right by the Strait of Hormuz, where they're doing all that bombing and stuff right now. You can't even live in the urban area. Go watch a video of walking through Iran. Show me where the black people at. Go watch a video of walking through Tehran. You won't see a single black face, bro. Yet there's 1.5 million black people in that country, which represents 12% of the population. To give you a perspective, Black America represents between 12 and 14% of the population in the United States. There's nowhere you could go in America and not see a black person. So how did they, in America is way bigger than Iran. So how is it that they have 1.5 million black people in that country, but if you go to any major city in that country, you won't see a single black face? Oh, we know they don't. Come on now. They couldn't care less. But these are the narratives that Black America continues to try to adopt and spread. No way, man. No way. But you guys might not believe me. He's a Trump supporter. Don't believe him. He just hates whatever. I don't know what you guys tell yourselves. But let's play my guy, Pat Bet-David. I like his show. He's an Iranian. He was Iranian. Pat Bet-David was Iranian before you decided to become a de facto Iranian.
I used to live in Iran.
Guy was born in Iran, bro. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger for my other. You know what? I'm gonna do it like this. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit under the weather. All right, that's cool.
And I would see 10,000 men flagellating their backs, blood on the ground, screaming, "Mar bad America, Mar bad America, Mar death bad upon America, America." We had two channels. Every channel was about how America's the evil empire, everything. Israel's the evil empire. We were fed that every day. Israel. Every channel was about how America's the evil empire, everything. Israel's the evil empire. We were fed that every day.
Israel, the little site in America, the big site.
Always. I used to live in Iran.
So what he's saying is, bro, they had two television channels. On both the channels, basically both the channels were dedicated to hating America. They didn't say America's death to just the whites. Because you know with black folks, that's what it really is. They're trying to say, oh, Iran's only going to kill the white folks. Right? Oh, you were good. You were good. You're good. You're good, Miss Berry. But that's what black people want to believe. They're only going to come after the white folks. Bro, Iranians are more closely related to white people than you. You do know that's where Aryans come from, and Aryans are white people. So I don't understand how you keep telling yourself that somehow they're going to take out their own ethnicity damn near, but they're going to spare you. It's just absolute delusion, and it gets to the point where it's not even funny anymore. And I know a lot of us take it as a joke. Oh, I'm just kidding. We're always just kidding. But remember what Craig told Smokey on Friday when he was talking about Big Worm? And he was like, who you know play with a gun? Who you know play like that? That's black folks. Everything's a joke until it's not anymore. Everything is a joke until it's not anymore. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe you guys can explain it to me because I don't get it. They're going to throw bombs at America, but somehow the bombs are going to spare all the black people and only hit the white folks and the Asians. This is delusional as hell. This is delusional as hell. But they ain't never stopped us. They ain't never stopped black folks. We ain't playing. We will buy into delusion. No problem. I don't know what the hell is going on with my camera, but anyway. We'll buy into delusion. No problem. We don't care. It ain't got to make no damn sense. As long as it's what we want to believe at the time. This guy, Pat Bet-David, said these dudes was hitting themselves with whips. Blood coming out of their back. They screaming death to America. Do you think they are going to discriminate? Oh, wait, not them. Let them go. Let's just get these ones. Come on, bro. Come on. Especially if they're over there fighting now. It's black people over there fighting against them right now. But y'all gonna let TikTok, and that's what we do. A lot of us get our politics off of TikTok. Whatever a bunch of idiots on TikTok say, oh, that's what we gonna believe because they must know better than we do. Boy, it must be a rough life. Must be a rough life. Oh, my boy's up. What's up, Mike?
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I hope
You got any
everything's
thoughts
well
on what
with you.
Everything's good.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you got any thoughts on the topic? Why do black people think Iran is gonna spare them in the event that something happens where they can reach America?
I was listening to you a minute ago, and you were saying that everything's a joke to black people and everything. And you used that analogy in Friday. But I would say that that's not necessarily just a black person thing, because I'm white, and a few years ago I was actually beat up with a baseball bat pretty severely. But because of no, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. That's what changed my life, and it made my life better actually, because I was thugging, kicking indoors, and I've done a lot of things that I'm not going to say over to any kind of communication.
Right.
But that's what got me out of all that. Is that it took me getting beat up with the baseball bat to turn my life around, and now, I've been sober from drugs for years. I've gained a lot of wisdom, so, and I can't be mad at the guy that did it, because I was that type of person, I'd beat you up and run your pockets, so I couldn't be mad at somebody for doing that to me. But, and I'm actually Christian. I don't know if you believe in Jesus or not. I'm not going to push my belief. But I'd say that everybody kind of does that. Everybody kind of puts stuff off until it's the last minute. And then when the last minute comes, because they didn't do nothing the whole time up until that moment, it catches them off guard. Realistically,
do you think it's like a coping mechanism?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Or maybe a form of laziness, or maybe because something has to be personal to somebody for something to sink in. So, for instance, let's say that you go out and you buy a new Toyota or a new Nissan or something, right? And up until you bought that Nissan, you never seen another car on the road that looked like that Nissan. Never really stood out. Now all of a sudden you got that car. Now you're seeing that car everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I think it has to be on a personal level for people to get it, because we're not very good at actually ascertaining ideas. People in general. There's no race that's one better than the other.
Right.
We're all people, and I don't know why people take and try to separate people into races like that. I mean, obviously there's differences in melanin or slight genetic features or what have you, but that doesn't mean that a person is not a person at the end of the day. A black person is no better than a white person. A white person is no better than an Israeli person, and Iranian people. So it's kind of stupid.
One of the biggest questions I would ask is, why are you okay with Iran destroying only white people? There's a lot of white people who did a lot of good for black people in this country. There's a lot of white people who still do a lot of good for black people in this country. I'm just saying, is it really everyone else that's the problem, or is it us? Because in my opinion, it looks like it's an extreme amount of disloyalty. Yeah, you might have the white racists who you dislike and they did things to black people, but what about all the good white people who helped free black people from slavery? Black people also helped free black people from slavery, but not a single white person would have lost anything. Nothing would have been taken away from their life if they hadn't fought in the Civil War to free blacks, but they did it anyway. Why is it that now we're just like, yeah, F whitey all of a sudden, when a lot of white people died and risked their lives to help black people get freedom? Like it's like you can't. It's not. Life is not as simple as we would like it to believe. You understand that whites did a lot to get you out of a bad situation, but then when it comes to another country that never did anything for you, it's like, hey, screw those white people, let them die. I don't get that.
Well, I think that it's a type of, again, I'm Christian, so I think it's a type of,
These black people
it's a
claim to be Christians too.
oh, I know, but a lot of people that I've met, and I've never understood it necessarily. Hebrew Israelites. I've had Hebrew Israelite people tell me that I should enjoy my time with my family, and that my time's short because I'm a white devil, and that I will be their slave when Jesus comes back. And if they want to believe that, that's fine, but that's such a shallow way to believe that there's some sort of superiority in a race when the Bible says that your flesh and blood won't go to heaven, because
What joy does one take from telling someone you're going to be my slave? I couldn't even imagine a afterlife or a paradisaic environment where someone has to be a slave to someone else, right? Like,
oh no, absolutely.
That's demonic. That's demonic, man. Like, when people say stuff like that, I look at them like they're possessed. I really wanted to get into this comment right here where someone said Israel is the enemy and the oppressor. Iran is fighting evil. Our leaders worship Baal. You seem brainwashed by Fox News. You don't seem to know anything about Baal or the ancient Canaanite pantheon, because what are you talking about? These people don't do basic research and then make like generalized statements. Bro, do you know that Baal is the son of El, which is the God you think you're worshiping right now? That's Jehovah, Yahweh, all that. Baal is his son. But did you know that? No, you did not, because you don't do research. I grew up in church, and I tell you, black folks do not read the Bible at all. Barely. They got 2 good scriptures in them.
Technically speaking, nobody really reads the Bible. And,
Sure,
and
I've read the Bible 7 times.
Yeah, I do too. And I find that the more I read it, the more I need it, because it gives me more wisdom and understanding, not when I'm reading it trying to get something selfish out of it, but something that would help somebody else, because I'm not the type of person to just sit back while somebody's, suffering. And, even that guy that beat me with the baseball bat, I didn't snitch on him. Nothing really happened with him. I actually found out a little while ago that now he's got a family and he's working a roof job. And I'm actually glad that he turned his life around, because yes, he may have beat me with a baseball bat. He may have messed me up for life. I mean, he broke my collarbone, my arms, my neck was fractured. He was on meth, and he was like 350, and he was mentally challenged. And he hit me like, I got the short end of the stick, but he hit me like 6-7 times swinging down onto my head. So I threw my arms up, and he broke both of them. And so, but that doesn't really matter. The fact is that I'm glad that he's no longer in that situation of thugging and selling dope and hurting people, because I'm a big enough man to realize that if I do bad things to people, I will have bad things done to me. Okay. And I'm a big enough man to realize when I'm in the wrong. And I also want better for people that's in a similar situation that I was in,
Okay. Well, thank you for coming up. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Have a great night. But yeah, people, our leaders worship Baal and all that kind of crap. Bro, first of all, who do you think you are? Do you think you're an Israelite? Because if you think you're an Israelite, the Israelites worshipped Baal, but they also worshipped Yahweh. And there was like this beef between Yahweh and Baal, but Baal is the son of Yahweh. Because right here at the top, if you look at the top right, top left, Father of Heaven, that's El. All of these combined I could teach you guys if you're slow and you don't know this. All of these gods combined are called the Elohim. It's the same thing like the gods of Greek mythology, Zeus, Hades, all that stuff. The top god, or like the Zeus of it all, is El. That's Yahweh, Jehovah, the name that's above every other name. And then from him descends him and Asherah, the goddess of fertility. They used to sacrifice kids to her too. From them descend all these little lesser gods, right? So people just did what people always did. They just picked which god they preferred to serve at that time. And Baal was one. He was a weather god. Notice all the gods have. Mot is the god of death. Baal is the god of weather. Anat is the god of war, right? But what made the Israelites special was that they only worshiped El, or Yahweh. That's it. They said that they were the only, they said they were the worshipers of only one God. But over time, you know, people learned about different gods. They were all the Canaanites. Israelites were Canaanites as well. They were all Canaanites, but just different cliques and sects went and worshiped different gods within the Canaanite pantheon. So when you're like, these leaders worship Baal and stuff, like, I don't even think people realize how ignorant they sound when they say that. I don't think people realize how ignorant they are. If anything, I'll tell you what's funny. If you look at the people who became the Arabs, the people who started Islam, right? Islam comes from Ishmael, right? Do you remember what the Bible said about Ishmael? Do you guys remember that? I mean, no, you don't, because you never studied. Most of you guys never study anything. Do you remember what the Bible says with the prophecy of Ishmael? What will be going on? It's at Genesis 16. I'll share it with you. I don't want you guys to think you're just on the channel with a dummy. No, I know my stuff. I study and do research. You might not agree with my politics, but you're not going to beat me on a debate on anything factual. But the Bible tells you about Ishmael, and the Bible doesn't put Ishmael in a positive light, really, right? The Bible kind of lets you know, like, hey, this guy's going to be a troublemaker. He's going to be doing a lot of shady stuff, and he's going to constantly be fighting. He's going to constantly be at war with his brothers. And if you look at the Muslim area, like, I don't want to get too deep in this, but if you even look how the Arab states were created, the Arab countries were created through betrayal. They betrayed the Turks to get in bed with the white man, with Britain. So yeah, they're righteous. They're not. They betrayed the Turks to get in bed with the white man, and he let them take over those little countries in the Middle East, and they found oil. But they've been fighting ever since. Because in a way, they're kind of cursed to do that. You can't say, oh, I'm a Christian and all this shit, but then throw away actual prophecy from the Bible just because you don't like America at the moment. Bet you gonna cash that welfare check, though. Right here. So look, I'll read it to you. It says, Jehovah's angel added, here you are, pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. And you must name him Ishmael. That's the guy where Islam came from. For Jehovah has heard your affliction. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand will be against him. And he will dwell opposite all his brothers. Right? So if you really think about it, the Islamic world is destined to be at war with the rest of the world, like forever. If you really want to break it down, if you want to make it about spiritual stuff and metaphysics. If I read that and I believe that, there's no way Iran and them are going to win. Because the Bible foretold that he would be always at war with everybody. And everybody would always be at war with him. And what do you see? This is why when you see dudes like the Iranian supreme leader, and he's just like, you're like, this guy's crazy. Why? Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. And you're like, why don't they just chill the hell out? Why don't they just surrender at this point? And they refuse to do it. They can't. It's foretold that they're going to just be like a donkey. What is a donkey? Stubborn. A donkey is known for being stubborn. They will remain at war until forever because they are stubborn. That is the bloodline of Ishmael. So if you're on the other side where you're not working with that bloodline, you actually have a chance. You actually have a chance. If you could give America over to Iran today, I'm telling you, Iran will still be fighting people. Islam is a religion of conquest. They seek to take over because that's what it was foretold that they would do. They would constantly be fighting. Didn't say they would take over, but it said they would just always be fighting. Man, ISIS, the funny thing is ISIS, not ISIS, but Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, all these groups, they're literally proxies of Iran. They all get money from Iran. They all get training from Iran. They all get weapons from Iran. Iran is fighting everyone already, but just through proxy. So I don't understand, like, Iran is actively trying to overthrow African governments, but black folks are like, oh my God, hallelujah, Iran's going to save us. They're not going to save you, bro. They're not going to save you. They can't even save themselves. Somebody told me, man, Iran is winning. I said, I don't know who goes down by 50 and they winning. I just don't. I don't know who loses as many people as they've lost and considers themselves to be winning. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my camera, man. It's like a bottleneck on my internet or something. But I don't know who's down. I don't know who's down the way they're down and considers themselves to be winning. I don't get it. But hey, it is what it is, man. Y'all can, hold on one second. I'm trying to see if we can get some better visuals on this damn screen. Yeah, that's better. I switched cameras. Let me see. I don't know. I do know what it is, actually. But we should be good now. But yeah. So, I mean, when you guys bring up the Bible stuff, that's all I'm saying. When you guys bring up the Bible stuff, just one, understand I know way more about the Bible than you. Two, understand that nothing you agree with is in line with what the Bible says. Actually, what you're doing and what you're saying goes against the prophecies of the Bible. Understand that. Oh, American presidents worship Baal. I don't think that. Because what Americans are doing has nothing to do with Baal. I mean, if you said Ma'at, he's the god of war. That's what they're doing, war. What the hell does Baal have to do with war? Baal is a god of weather. What the hell could he possibly, what does the weather have to do with war? Nothing. Nothing. So, and then also, we always want to talk about God, right? What about this? What about this? We go to Romans 13. What does Romans 13 say? Since y'all want to talk, y'all want to bring up biblical stuff. Since y'all think y'all know about biblical stuff. You know, I was going to keep it light, but now I'm going to drop the anvil. Let's go to Romans 13 chapter to show you where you wrong at. We go right here. We put an end to everything. What this say? Romans 13. Let everyone be in subjection to the superior authorities, for there is no authority except by God. The existing authorities stand placed in their relative position by God. Therefore, whoever opposes the authority has taken a stand against the arrangement of who? God. So when you talk against Donald Trump, when you sit up and, oh, this and that, you're going against God. Listen, we're not talking about Bible being fairy tales. We're talking about the people in my comments who are trying to relate this to spiritual, biblical things. If we're taking this and relating it to biblical things, you are going to hell, not Donald Trump. Someone said in my comments, if you support Donald Trump, you're going to hell. No, you're going to hell because the Bible says that you have to obey. It says, whoever opposes the authority has taken a stand against the arrangement of God. Those who have taken a stand against it will bring judgment against themselves. So you're talking about who's going to hell, and I'm looking like, that's not what it says. And I mean, we can all agree Donald Trump is the authority, right? Whether you like it or not, you're going against him, so you're the one who's going to hell. That's just based on what the Bible say. But I know that black folks are, we make up our own shit. We make up our own rules, right? But I'm just giving it to you. Don't say you didn't know, because you learned it up here first. You learned it up here first. MAGA is a pedophile cult. I guess. I don't know. I don't believe that, but whatever you want to believe is up to you. It's your life. It's your life. But and then it's so funny. People say MAGA is a cult of pedophiles. Do you know Iran is one of the biggest sex trafficking countries on earth? They literally traffic women on the black market because they need the money. But America's like, but what I've learned from my friends that I've been arguing with on Facebook, if Iran does it, it's justified. If America does it, it's terrible. Iran kills 35,000 people. That's okay. It doesn't matter. America kills one person. A cop in America shoots a person. Oh my God, America's the great Satan. Either you are cool with killing or you're not. But I think one or two people is greatly outweighed by 35,000 people protesting. Did you guys hear? Let me tell you. Let me ask you a question. Which one strikes you as more demonic? Someone getting killed for trying to run over a police officer like Renee Nicole Good, or an Olympic wrestler? An Olympic wrestler. An Olympic wrestler being executed in Iran. Hanged. They hung him. An Olympic wrestler. A teenager. 19 years old, executed for going out in the street with protesters over the economy. He wasn't going out in support of America. He wasn't going out saying, let's overthrow the regime. He was literally going out. In support, about the economy, because their economy was in the tank recently, and people were mad because they didn't have money to buy food, so they went to go protest. And now this guy was in the Olympics when it represented his country, right? And they literally hung him. They hung him.
CBS News has learned of a young Iranian wrestler who was executed in Iran today. What do you know about this young man?
His name is Salah Mohammadi. He's 19 years old. He was on the Iranian national wrestling team and a rising star. He was executed along with two other young men, and this happened at the Qom Central Prison. And what happened is, according to human rights groups, several of them, Hengao included, our sources inside Tehran, CBS News sources say, two sources say that he was executed after they obtained a confession under torture, that they were accused of killing two police officers in January. And there's an actual specific charge, which is interesting, which is called Moharabe, which means waging war against God, which really shows what the regime thinks of people that go against them. But we're also hearing from these groups, these human rights groups, that executions are on the rise, and obviously most often without a fair trial.
So you get tortured. They torture you first to get you to confess to something. And then they say, well, what you did went against God, so we're going to hang you. We're going to hang you. And then all the other media outlets are like, bro was protesting about the economy. He's a wrestler. He's a Olympic wrestler. Why would an Olympic wrestler be trying to kill an Iranian police officer? Come on, guys. That doesn't even make sense. If anything, he could probably get the hell out of the country. You see the women on the soccer team, they don't even want to go back. They're in Australia right now. They don't even want to go back. But you guys are like, America's evil. What? I know America wouldn't do that. I don't know anybody who was tortured into confessing in America then hanged. Pretty much in America, they're getting rid of the death penalty. But this is the country that's evil. The country that oppresses women, murders their own citizens for protesting, tortures its own citizens and then hangs them. That's the country that's good. And this country where you live right now in relative comfort and relative peace, this is the bad country. I'm telling you, you guys are delusional. A lot of people are just delusional. But I bet you they won't take their ass over there to live in Iran, though. As much as they want to say, America's evil. You won't leave this bitch to go live in Iran, though. The cop was effing his girlfriend, so he liked him. Our people don't know what goes on outside the world. I don't think so. You got Iran kidnapping Americans, but y'all screaming about, at least let the black. But you know what's crazy? Black people do know what Iran's doing. But what the position black folks are taking is, we don't care because they only going to do it to white folks. When they shoot the bombs over, the bombs only going to hit whitey. so it don't matter. That's what we're doing. That's where we are in our mind. We're telling ourselves that if Iran drops bombs on America, somehow, some way, those bombs are only gonna land on white folks. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's not gonna stop. That never stopped us from believing before. So here we are. Sorry, guys. So we got another story. Why is FBA, the xenophobic hate cult wing of Black America, why are they angry right now? Because the Houston Rodeo is basically saying that it's going to impose a dress code because of just some really ghetto-ass behavior of people at the Houston Rodeo. They were scantily clad. And they were raising hell. They're saying that the code of conduct is now being changed because they're just saying too many ghetto people, too many hoochie mamas came up there, and then they started fighting and acting ghetto. So now they're just basically like, and you know who they're aiming this at. And you know why? I know we're going to play dumb. It ain't just us. It's us.
Rodeo Houston is asking you to take a second look in the mirror before attending, as they have updated their dress code.
ABC 13 Feliana Pearson spent the day talking to attendees and the rodeo CEO to find out what the changes are and how they're going to enforce it.
This may be a rodeo and livestock event, but it's also the perfect place to do some people watching as we all come dressed to impress. But now that perfect rodeo themed outfit might need a makeover, as rodeo officials say they have made changes to their code of conduct. This comes after an onslaught of social media posts about what some people are choosing to wear.
Boots, hats, and denim. If you're attending Rodeo Houston, the fashion is one of the first things you'll notice inside the gates. But the fashion has evolved over time. Some attendees say for the worse.
I mean, if you really want to keep it family friendly, I would suggest coming in like earlier, before 4-ish, between 10 to 4 would be a good time to, experience it with your family, like appropriate leisure.
Rodeo CEO and President Chris Bowman says after a spike in feedback on clothing choices, they decided to listen and updated their dress code.
I think it's about making sure your skin is covered to a great extent, making sure that what you put on, as you think about a 9 or 8-year-old looking at you, would it be appropriate? Would they be asking questions?
New rodeo guidelines say they can deny admission or remove people wearing clothing with obscene images and language, excessively torn clothes, visible undergarments, or clothing that exposes portions of skin that may be considered inappropriate for a family environment. Bowman says what is and isn't appropriate is subjective. Miona Graves with Texas Southern University says subjective rules can create problems when it comes to enforcing rules equitably.
But if we're just going off of eyesight, how do we say what is too short? How do we say what is too revealing? If someone has like a mesh top on, do we say that that's too revealing, or where do we draw the lines?
Graves says more clearly defined rules on what is and isn't okay could help ensure everyone is being treated fairly. Bowman says they aren't looking to single anyone out and trust the people enforcing the code of conduct.
We feel very confident in the security that we have on site with different levels of security around the grounds to be able to address it, just like we would address anything that happens here every single day and night.
I'm Liliana Pearson, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Now, this other video is kind of old, but it's a good video, in my opinion, to give you an idea of what I guess would be considered appropriate wear. And so I think what's going on is I think people are trying to go extreme. Because if we look at this King the Great video, the women look like they're dressed like, see this right here? I don't mind this. These little Daisy Dukes right here, I don't that's cool. That's hot. That's sexy right there. So I'm wondering what they were wearing, like how bad it really was to get these people tripping. She looks cute to me. I don't see nothing wrong with what she got on. So part of it makes me wonder, is it really that it's real short, or is it just that them those out of shape women is mad because these young women is showing up looking good? Because, I mean, I know you see her. She eating on the popcorn right there. See this girl in the back to the left of the girl with the booty shorts? Yeah. I promise you she one of the ones reporting, ooh, they need to put some clothes on. Girl, you over here with a spare tire. Put that popcorn down. Put that popcorn down. Now, I think she looks good. So if they tripping about this, then they tripping. But if it's worse than this, if it's like really hiked up there, I could understand it's a kid-friendly event. I can understand that. But this was last year's rodeo, though. So I don't understand. I don't know how bad this rodeo got. It was a lot of fighting and stuff. So part of me, I mean, what she's wearing is cute as well. It's denim. She got her hat. She bony as hell. Bro, what the hell? But, I think what they did was there was a lot of fighting and stuff up there. So they just looked at what was like one of the common denominators. And they probably were all like, all these chicks who fighting was dressed in some booty shorts. So let's just ban booty shorts. She looks cute. She's not like, and they look good. They look cute. I don't see what the problem is. See, I'm okay with these little booty shorts. They're not really booty shorts like that. Something like that. I ain't tripping off that. That's cool. What do y'all think of the audience? Y'all think these are too short and this is not kid friendly? I think this is fine. Some American Eagle shorts, but the sisters, man, they got that extra thigh meat. They get it from their mama. So it make the shorts ride up a little bit. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. So what y'all think? You think they tripping? Y'all think the Houston rodeo is tripping? I'm going to be mad if I go somewhere like Houston rodeo and I don't get to see a little skin. They want you coming dressed like this girl right here in the San Diego Chargers jersey. She looking at the camera. You done walked in front of it just to look at it. Somebody's wife got mad up there. I mean, that's a little Mexican ladies with the booty shorts on too. I think Daisy Dukes literally came from like the rodeo scene. Who's that girl with the Daisy Dukes on? So I don't know how they're making denim shorts not a part of the rodeo. They want you like this chick over here with the dress with the big gut. I see some more shorts, bro. So it wasn't just us. It wasn't just us, man. Girl, we didn't see you with your ugly ass. Get her out of here, King. We tired of her. Big ass nose. God damn, look at that snozzer. Jesus Christ. See, that's the problem with women. The more you look at them, the uglier they get. They be hella cute, and then you just keep staring at them, and by the time you done, they ugly. Because she was cute when she first walked up, but she stuck around too long, and I started noticing flaws. Look at that nose, dude. Dude, she got a nose like Adrian Brody. Look at that thing. Jesus Christ. Her and her mama. Jesus Christ. Nose look like Ramses the Great. That's what I'm trying to figure out, Zarth. Like, exactly what level of dress code do they want? I don't really see anything wrong with this. But then again, this is from last year. Everybody got booty shorts on. So what's the difference from last year to this year? I told you people was fighting. So now I think they're going to use the shorts as like they look like they're going to cause trouble. Let's reject them. Or just to deter people who not going to come if they don't get to, wear booty shorts. What's up with her? Her waist is snatched. Damn. Dude, the ugliest girl always trying to cling. Move. Look at these big fried chicken eating chicks. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Where the food at? They ass is hungry. Look at the far right. Jesus Christ. How sweet it is. They say they don't give a damn what celebrity is there. They about to eat this chicken. So I don't really understand what they're talking about with the dress code, but I'm sure they have some. Jesus, look at that big girl. Big, ooh. Yeah, the girls is cute at the rodeo. Yeah. Don't listen, whoever's in charge of the Houston rodeo, do me a favor and don't change a thing, okay? Do me a favor and don't change a thing. Leave it alone. Leave me alone. Don't change anything. Damn you straight to hell. Looks good. Oh, that dude was sassy as hell. That yellow damn sweater. Try to play it off. Got your sassy ass, dude. Look, right there. Right there. Sassy ass yellow sweater. Bro, go look at the camera. Why, bro, look at the camera, bro? We know you sweet, bro. Keep it moving. Keep it moving, bro. Ain't no way. Like, I don't understand how people spend years on the dating scene. Ain't no way you could be going to events like this for 2, 3, 4, 5 years and not end up with a wifey or a serious relationship. These girls are too damn fine. How do you just keep doing the same thing over and over? Like, at some point you got to be like, yo, I just got to settle down with something. Dude, who the hell cares about this magic? All right, man, they clearly wasn't interested in no more Daisy Dukes. And they keep going back to this damn Booger Wolf. But yeah, that's last year, but I'm sure this year wasn't much different from last year when it comes to the dress code. So I really don't know what they're talking about. Don't mess the damn fair up trying to make everybody come dressed like soccer moms and stuff. Next year, they're going to say, you got to have a spare tire to get up in this motherfucker because it's a kid-friendly event. Kids ain't worried about that shit. And how late are you going to be out with your kids anyway? But, yeah. So, you guys let me know what you think about that in the comments. Do you guys think we should cover one more topic? Or have you guys had it? Do you guys think we should cover one more topic? Maybe we could do one more. There was way too many people compared to last year, probably. I don't get how you fighting with people you don't even know, though. That was the crazy thing. How was you out there fighting with people you don't even know? Like, y'all acting like y'all was really out here fighting. Like y'all really knew these people at this damn rodeo event. But I don't know. It make no sense. I don't know what they care more about. Do they care more about the fighting or do they care more about the dress code? Because I'm not seeing much about the fighting, but I'm seeing a lot about the dress code. Let's see what this says.
In the final stretch of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and the dress code continues to be the talk of town.
I mean, we're looking at your comments all over social media. Videos and pictures of some outfits went viral, not in a good way. And that's one of the reasons that rodeo leaders are pushing now for a stricter dress code. And now the question is, who's enforcing the rules? KPRC2's Rochelle Turner is back at NRG Park with the answers.
I asked the rodeo that exact question. They tell me that enforcement falls under NRG Park Security Partners, Legends Global Management, and Rodeo Management. But the rodeo wouldn't tell us exactly how many people have been turned away for violating the dress code. We also asked officials to clarify what counts as revealing. They say clothing with obscene language or graphics, excessively torn items, visible undergarments, or outfits that show too much skin may be considered inappropriate on the grounds. I also asked rodeo goers, what does revealing mean to them?
My grandmother always said, if you're showing a little up top, nothing should be showing at the bottom, and vice versa. Also, why do you want to show something that was meant to be kept at home?
Girl, why did they ask her? Nobody don't see nothing you got. She came over there with the goddamn Walmart like she worked at Walmart and got off work. The shirt she wears to work at Walmart, got off work, took the vest off, and just went to the rodeo. Come on, bruh. They trying to play games.
We can enjoy this weather, enjoy the function without doing all the extra stuff.
If your whole body can show and it's so tight, for me that is revealing.
We spotted several people wearing shorts and crop tops, showing more skin than clothes. The rodeo says they do not plan to actively screen every guest at the gate, but officials say if someone violates the dress code, they can be asked to cover up, change clothes, or leave. And if you're asked to leave, you will not get a refund. I also asked people if they think rodeo attire has gotten out of control.
On every single post I see, it's 20 heavier people that are dressing that way, and not the skinnier ones that I see around. And I just feel like it's fat shaming more than really their values. Around, and I just feel like that are dressing that way, and not the skinnier ones that I see around. And I just feel like it's fat shaming more than really their values.
I think there should be a little more, I guess, it should be more leveled out. I feel like guys should be just as, I guess, there should be more, just as much intent for regulating guys' clothing as much as the girls are. So
we also asked who makes the call on turning someone away. Rodeo officials say that if an outfit violates the dress code, security will be contacted. That person can cover up, change, or leave. Now, if they leave, they must come back wearing something that is appropriate. Now, to read more about the rodeo's dress code, look for the story on our website. It's clicktohouston.com. Reporting at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC2 News.
Yo, what up? Sucker Season LA in the building. Olarisha's in the building. Zarth, my brother, is in the building. Everybody's in the building today. What's up with y'all? Sasinke is in the building. Drill Will, TSG. What up, my brother? Mex Life, talk about Africa. We don't talk about Africa on this channel. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all heard about the stuff with O'Shea Duke Jackson getting scammed? Shout out to No Jumper. No Jumper. Yes. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that. Even when you look at the new rules that they put in place, they're still very vague about the dress code. So yeah, I don't know, man. But this one girl, she was so cute. I don't see nothing wrong with her. She was like, they were talking about my outfit, and let me show you.
I was wearing American Eagle shorts. I wasn't gonna respond ever again.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. No, I'm just kidding. I don't see anything wrong with a lot of these outfits, though, especially this one.
Like, when I tell y'all so many fights broke out last night, I'm pretty sure y'all see it all over TikTok. I was there. It was insane. Insane.
I don't care what anybody says, but what I wore to the Houston rodeo should have been the least of y'all concern. And I told myself I wasn't going to respond to the negative comments, but I'm going to put this out there because I'm going to defend myself since I'm getting so many nasty, hateful, and really mean.
I see nothing wrong with these shorts. I see nothing wrong with these shorts. I see nothing wrong with anything she has on. People act like it's not hot as hell in Texas. It is hot as hell in Texas, y'all. Blazing. I would expect more women to kind of be dressed like that. So next thing you know, we're going to ban people from going to the pool. You got to wear the old school bathing suit. I don't see anything wrong with this. What the hell's wrong with her stomach? I don't know. No, her stomach looks good. You tripping. I don't see anything wrong with her stomach. You tripping, fool. Guys, what do y'all think in the comments? Do y'all see anything wrong with her outfit? I don't. She looks good.
Comments. So this was the outfit.
She looks good.
That I wore, and I posted a walking video, and for some reason it ended on the wrong side of TikTok, and now I'm being personally attacked for it. Number one, I was wearing American Eagle shorts to the rodeo. I did not search up butt cheek shorts. I did not get any shorts from a boutique. I got them from American Eagle, and I know a lot of people shop there. Number two, my behind was not out. When you're walking, obviously things are going to rise up, which happens to me because I am not slim. I am not skinny in the back. Naturally, when I walk, things rise up. I did not buy those shorts so that they could rise up on the back of me.
Yeah, so you see that? I don't see anything wrong. This is one of the rare times me and Greg Foreman are going to disagree. Because I don't see... Stop it, Aaron. What do you mean she's doing too much? Dude, stop. She's at a rodeo. She's at a rodeo, dude. You know when they get on the bull and they just ride it? You want to be looking good. Test? Test what? Test what? I have no problem with her. As far as I'm concerned, she's a queen. She's a queen. I love her. She's a queen and I love her. I don't got no problem with the little... They want to wear their little hoochie coochie shorts. I'm okay with that, y'all. Y'all tripping, fools. Y'all don't want the girls to look good. Y'all don't want the girls to look good for y'all. That's crazy. Ooh, I don't know how many of y'all are interested in politics.
We can bring back.
But you guys remember when everybody was talking about socialism a little while back? You guys remember when everyone was like, oh yeah, we're going to tax the rich and they're going to pay their fair share. And you remember when the people in New York elected this loser, Zohran Mamdani, the quote unquote Democrat socialist, who was basically telling everybody, yeah, I'm going to give you all this free stuff and we're going to make all the rich people pay for it. Well, that seems to have backfired in New York. They told us when everyone warned them about trying to prey on the rich with draconian tax policies, when we warned them that the rich would leave and flee the city and go to different other places where they could get treated fairly, they told us, oh, the rich won't leave. Statistics show that they stay, yada, 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 yada. And this is why I tell you can never believe the numbers that are provided by liberals. Well, what we told them and the things we warned them of, they just so happen to be true. because now New York Governor Kathy Hochul, she's in a desperate situation right now. And she's literally begging rich millionaires and billionaires to please come back to New York. It's a sad situation, y'all.
And we're here to say that the era of Trump,
this was her in
and
2022,
Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town.
So in 2022, she was telling Trump and all the billionaires, head down to Florida where you belong. Get out of here, right? But now it's 2026. Her tune has changed quite drastically.
Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers. But maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York.
You literally told the billionaires to leave, get out of town. You don't represent our values. Your trained SEALs clap their hands. Yeah. Now, just 4 years later, they're now begging these people to come back. Ain't that about nothing? 4 years later, they are now begging these people to come back. She even mentioned the billionaires' names.
State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We saw that that's not the case. I mean, Wall Street businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure. But they're going there because of the tax rate. We have to be smart about this.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about woke
So now you done ran all the billionaires out your state. Now you want them to come back. Now you messed up. Boy, I don't know why anyone votes Democrat. There is no reason to vote for these people. Like, people keep saying the Republicans, they're going to lose the midterms. If the Republicans lose the midterms, America is cooked, because these Democrat politicians have already told you what they want to do. They've already explained to you in great detail what they're going to do. They're going to try to disproportionately tax the rich. The rich are going to leave and flee to red states, and the blue states are going to be in chaos. The blue states are going to collapse in on themselves.
money out of her state.
That the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town.
You're quite delusional, Buzz and Kill. Billionaires come and go. No, they don't. Billionaires leave and stay where they go. Others will replace the runners. Who? This is a Democrat right here. Because this is exactly what the Democrat Party was saying. So, Buzzkill, if billionaires come and go, why is Kathy Hochul now begging billionaires to come back to New York? She told them to get out of town in 2022. Now she's begging them to come back to town in 2026. What you're saying doesn't seem to be rooted in reality.
Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers. What can we do to take off some of that pain that New Yorkers are feeling that I hear about literally every day? What I want to make sure we are smart about is having a system in place where it's not just taxing for the sake of taxing, and being conscious of the fact that I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. Right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem.
Didn't she tell them to go to Florida? She said, get out of town. you don't represent our values. Now she's saying, go down to Palm Beach and ask them to come back because our tax base has been eroded. No, it wasn't eroded. You chased them out. Now you want them back. Buzzkill. You just heard it out of her own mouth. She chased them out, and now she wants them back. You should go to Kathy Hochul's office and say, billionaires come and go. They'll be back, and see if she don't slap you across your damn face.
It's like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
This fake regret, this is not fake. This is real regret. One thing you got to understand about Democrats, they need money because all of their policies are tax and spend policies. So if you have nothing but tax and spend policies, you need money. So when they get up there begging billionaires to come back, that ain't fake. That's real. Because they realize that they've made a mistake and they stepped in it. They chased out the billionaires. And now they need them to come back. Billionaires are what's keeping states like New York, California afloat. Because the taxes are so ridiculous, the average citizens can't afford it. And you know what the average citizens do when they get overtaxed? They leave there as well.
And it's definitely a problem. No state has seen more wealth leave in 10 years than New York. Mike, that soundbite is shocking, to say the least.
So over 10 years, New York has lost $111 billion. Buzzkill said they'll be back. Well, it's been 10 years. When they coming back? In 20 years? 30 years? 40 years? Buzzkill, it doesn't. I'm going to send you the link, Buzzkill. You can come up here and help me understand the point you're making. Because I don't see what you see. You're saying billionaires come and go. Well, New York has been losing $111 billion over 10 years. Where are the billionaires that are supposed to be coming back? And it's harder to become a billionaire these days. And from what I'm hearing, the billionaires are loving it in Florida. They're loving it in Wyoming. They're loving it in Texas. Because that's where everyone else is going. Man, I'm telling you, concerts, comedy shows, all that. They're doing way more numbers in those other states than they're doing even in Cali or New York. So, yeah, I don't know, bro. I gave you the link to come up here to explain it, but that's going to be a tall task.
Almost comical, but the crazy part is, I mean, she's an intelligent woman, supposedly. No one's coming back unless you change the policies that cause them to leave in the first place. Right. So just to come back because the governor, who won't change any of her policies, wants you to come back, the high net worth people are smart enough to go where their money's going to be treated best, and that's Florida. So I don't know, you have to do better than what she's doing. You want to keep people in New York to pay taxes for her social programs, you have to offer them something. But keeping it status quo, you're going to get more of the exact same, and that's people leaving.
I mean, what do you say to her?
This is a joke. I mean, nobody that's gone down to Florida is coming back. What was the old expression? Slim and none? I won't use the third word. Slim and none. About people that went to Florida, went to Texas, they're not coming back.
She's kind of saying the quiet part out loud, right? We just want you back so you can fund our far left policies in the state.
Won't happen. It won't never happen. And right now, I'm worried about New York because once they want to lower the estate tax, and I'm over a certain age. I'm eligible for estate tax. My kids will hate me if I don't move to Florida because they want. But they're punishing not only the rich. They're not only punishing the billionaires and the millionaires. They want to reduce the estate tax from $7 million down to $750,000. Everybody's house in New York is worth $750,000. So they want to punish everybody. Yeah. It just doesn't work. They don't realize it. I should come back so I could feed the migrants.
Always wonderful to see you again, Benny. What do you make of Governor Hochul? Voters are slamming her. She's already running out of other people's money. And this is right as Socialist Mayor Zohran Mamdani wants to grab more of their money with higher taxes.
Yeah, Liz, I just love this psychotic, over-medicated ex-girlfriend energy from the states of New York and California and Illinois that sat there and muled at their tax-paying and corporate bases and said, you will never leave us. You'll never find anything better. Starbucks, you'll never leave Seattle, right? And the big banks, you'll never leave New York, and the tech companies will never leave San Francisco. And then they find out that they're not the only babe on the block. And all of those companies are leaving in droves, along with their founders and along with their tax base. And now those states have turned into this psychotic ex-girlfriend who's sitting there in our DMs being like, please get back with me. Hey, honey, remember the good times? We're married, baby, okay? We're done with you. We don't need you anymore. We don't need that energy or that abuse. And I got to tell you, man, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, the guys who founded Google, Elon Musk, they're sitting pretty on the beach in Palm Beach and in Florida, knowing that they won't be harassed, they won't be abused, they won't be overtaxed, and that they're safe in this Republican supermajority state.
Exactly.
I mean, dude, I'm looking at what my brother in the comments is saying, but what is happening doesn't really coincide with what you're saying. New York is hurt right now. They've been unfriendly to billionaires. They swore they would never leave because they thought, oh, it's just too much money to be made in these cities. But the reality is, as New York and LA become more unaffordable for the citizens have less money to spend on luxuries. They have less money to spend on Starbucks and all that. So they end up just like me. I love buying my coffee, but dude, if money's tight, guess what? I make my coffee at home. I bought me a little coffee maker off Amazon for like $10. Best investment I made all year last year. Probably saved about $300 on coffee last year just because of that little machine. So, yeah. Speaking of coffee, you guys can contribute to the stream. You can buy me a coffee, whatever you want to do. The super chat is available for you all. I personally like to do a goal of $5 super chats per episode. It's a bit late. I did not put that in the comment section earlier. But if you are in a position to do so, we appreciate all contributions to the stream. So, yeah, you can make a super chat donation by hitting the little $ in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, right by the chat box, and it will be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. I wonder if we could hit our goal in this little bit of time. We probably got about 15 minutes left to the show. If we hit the goal in 15 minutes, that'd be crazy. But do what you will. But yeah, so New York is screwed. They've chased out the millionaires. They've chased out the billionaires. Hochul is literally begging for them to come back. It's a pathetic look. And the reality is they're not coming back. They're not coming back. Because why come back to stay when you can just come back to visit? Why come back to stay when you can just come back to visit? There's no reason to. They come, live that New York nightlife for a weekend, or come for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then they go pay their taxes to the state of Florida.
May not have Governor Hochul's support, but it does appear to have the backing of both chambers of the state legislature. The Assembly and Senate are working to include tax hikes on the wealthiest New Yorkers and corporations in their counter proposals to the governor's $260 billion plan for the state budget. This could raise another $5 billion for New York City to help it close what the mayor says is a $5.4 billion budget gap. Today, Governor Hochul says that she wants to be careful that the hikes do not drive high earners out of the state.
What I want to make sure we are smart about is having a system in place where it's not just taxing for the sake of taxing and being conscious of the facts that I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. And I'm working very hard to have a constructive relationship with the mayor.
Mayor has said that he would have to raise property taxes to close the budget gap if the governor does not sign off on a wealth tax. State budget must be completed by the end of the month.
Yeah. So why would anybody come back to that, right? Why would anybody come back to having more of your income and wealth taxed away to pay for illegals?
Man, I'm telling you, Greg, I have to agree with you. And what did the man say earlier on the news show? He literally said, "You want me to come back so I could pay for illegal immigrants?" Think. It's only the poorest of the poor Americans, because they don't have anything to lose anyway, who are supporting all these ridiculous policies with the immigration and all that stuff. Rich people don't want to take care of other people. Rich people are already taking care of poor Americans. You may not know this, but the rich pay the majority of taxes in the country. Rich people pay like 70% of all taxes in the country. So rich people are looking at this stuff like, dude, now you're trying to hit me for even more money? Why would they go back to that? You could tell yourself whatever you want. Oh, yeah, hunky-dory and glory. No, dude, no. Nobody lines themselves up to get abused. You got to be dumb. And that's the beauty of America. You don't have to stay in any particular state. You go wherever you want to. But there's states like California, which is funny. They know they've screwed over, their billionaires and even their upper middle class. So now California is trying to impose this crap where they are trying to still tax you. They're still trying to tax you even after you leave. They're trying to, and they've been talking about this as far back as 3 years ago. They want to tax you to leave. So they're chasing out the billionaires. They're chasing out the millionaires. They're chasing out the upper middle class. They know they can't live. They know they can't survive without that revenue. So what they're going to do is they're going to make an even bigger mistake where they try to tax you just to leave. And what does that do? What is taxing people to leave going to do? That's going to make people never want to move in. There might be a millionaire who I'm new money. I want to go to Cali. Now, they're not even going to think about coming to Cali.
California has an exit tax for certain individuals, saying that's fine. You want to leave California and you're going to do everything by the book, but be careful, because if your estate value is north of $30 million, excluding your primary residence, you have to pay an exit tax for leaving California.
It's painful but true.
Yeah.
And this is a shocking concept because generally that tax is based on unrealized appreciation of the assets held by that person. And in today's tax world, generally we don't tax unrealized appreciation. But what California is saying is you earned this appreciation as a California resident. And we know what you're doing. You're leaving the state to avoid taxes. And therefore, if your tangible net worth is north of $30 million, you're subject to an exit tax of 0.4%. So to give you an example, if you have someone who wants to leave the state of California and they have $40 million of eligible assets, the amount over 30 is subject to the exit tax, in this scenario, $10 million. And that's a $40,000 tax bill.
California has an exit tax for certain individuals, saying that's fine. You want to leave California and you're going to do everything by the book, but be careful, because if your estate value is north of $30 million, excluding your...
And so, even if these people were like, okay, we'll go back or we'll move in to give it a shot. Now California's like, nah, we want to tax unrealized gains, money you haven't even earned yet. So if you have a company, you start in California, your company gets a valuation and they're like, oh yeah, your company's worth like $1 billion. You haven't made $1 billion, but that's what your company is worth in the eyes of the people who evaluate it. California's like, we want to tax you on $1 billion you haven't earned yet. Now, does that make sense? We want to tax you on $1 billion you haven't even made yet. They're just, I'm telling you guys, Democrats do not know how to run an economy. They don't. Their mindset is keep giving us more money so we can keep spending it. And when we run out of your money or we waste it, we're going to hit you up for more money. Buzzkill, shout out to you for the $1.99. I appreciate you, even though you are often wrong. I don't see how I'm wrong. Everyone's, all the smart money, everything we've watched so far says that we're right. The governor of New York, who's a governor, is saying that I'm right. That's why she's begging people to come back into her state that she ran out 4 years ago. Thank you for the $1.99 though. But I don't understand. It's delusion. I live in California, so I know Democrats are delusional. They'll argue up and down for a point they know it's not good. They know the point has no footing, but that doesn't stop them. And this is the mindset that's going to end up having them chase out all the rich folks. This is the mindset that's going to cause the middle class taxpayers' taxes to skyrocket. And then you know what they're going to try to do? They're going to try to leave. And then California's going to try to impose an exit tax on them. These people are trying to, the Democrats are trying to create welfare states. They're trying to create states where people will never leave. They will always vote in those states because they'll say, look, I go to the state, I get free stuff. Everyone loves free. But the problem is, you can give people all the welfare you want, but someone has to pay for it. See, I haven't left because I work every day. I work. I literally work. And I manage my money. But I'm not a billionaire. I manage my money. I scrimp. I save. I don't do a lot of wasteful spending. I have a really good deal where I live. Man, I mean, but my situation is a little bit different because of family. And then on top of that, because I have a tendency to hold on to things, right? So like when we moved into our house, we kept paying the rent on our apartment. So then when we eventually moved out of the house to rent that out, we were able to go back to the apartment we were staying in prior to that. And the rent at the apartment was so damn cheap, it didn't make sense to let it go. So we moved back into the apartment. Now we have like super cheap rent at the apartment. We're right by the beach too. But I've had the apartment for like 12 years, almost 13. So I got the apartment when the apartment costs were really low. That's how you, shout out to you, RF. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Guys, we got the $5 challenge going. Let's see if we can get 4 more $5 super chats before the show ends. We got about 10 more minutes. Appreciate it in advance. Let's see if we can hit the goal. The goal is up at the top. Anyway, so yeah. So I would say that I have a special set of circumstances. And then also I had a family member come stay with me as a foster kid, and because I was thinking about leaving, and I'm still thinking about leaving. But there's just a lot of different reasons why I didn't leave. But now these kids are like, they're getting older. My daughter's about to graduate, and she has 1 more year left at school. She's going to go away somewhere on a scholarship for volleyball. My foster kid, who's a family member, he's in college right now. He's getting to the point where he's like getting his independence. So, yeah. But everyone has different circumstances. But hell yeah, if my situation wasn't the way it was, shit, sell the house here, go buy 3 houses in Indiana, Northwest Indiana. Rent 2 of them out. What you mean? That's common sense. I could come back to LA to visit. I don't need to live here. I've lived here my whole damn life. I know what's around every corner. Ain't nothing new. So it's like, yeah, ain't no reason to be like holding on to this. You go where it matches your pocket or where you get the most bang for your buck, right? I hope my daughter gets recruited to these couple schools in Illinois, because if she does, I'm gonna buy her house in Indiana, and she's gonna have a house in college. because that's where I've been looking a lot, and it's nice. The houses are beautiful. You get some snow, which is cool for us because we lived in Cali. We didn't get any snow. So there's just a lot of, people got their own lives. But I'm telling you, what California is doing, what New York is doing, is criminal. It's criminal. I grew up here. This was a beautiful state because it was beautiful and it was affordable. It was a little bit more expensive than other states, but it was good. Now, come on, dude, you can't even live here unless you got like 15 people living in a house. Well, a lot of people are like that. They got 10 people living in the house. Nobody wants to live like that. Even the Hispanics who traditionally, they live with their multiple families in a house, which is their way. Even they're getting out of state. Even they're leaving. Like, screw this crap. I'm not going to be giving all my money to the state because, bro, you get taxed like 20 different ways. They hit your check. Then you pay sales tax, which just increased. These shirts cost $10. These shirts cost $9 last year. As of 2026, these shirts went up $10. They're $10. They were $9, now they're $10. I knew that when I went to and I bought it from Target. I said, wait a minute, that shirt's usually $9. Oh, California sales tax went up. They're gonna get you on your payroll tax. They're gonna get you on the sales tax. They're gonna get you on everything. They got the gas tax. We're paying $2 more to buy gas in California per gallon than anyone else in the country. Make that make sense. We're paying $2 more per gallon than anyone else in the country just for the environment. I guess the environment, right? Gavin Newsom is screaming, oh, because Trump's war. Gas is $5.59 or whatever. Well, no, Gavin. If you take away the gas tax and the damn near 65 cents in regulatory fees that you don't call a tax, they're fees. They're not taxes, they're fees. Our gas would be down like everyone else's. We would be paying $3 something. Dude, people aren't going to just keep taking that. Now they want to do a mileage tax because they've convinced everyone to go electric. And even if you come to California, most of the cars on the road aren't even electric. They're gas powered. But because they lost a lot of revenue from the gas tax because a lot of people switched over to electric, now they want to implement a mileage tax where they're going to tax you by the mile for every mile you drive. Guys, these are draconian ideas. Like, this is modern these are modern draconian taxation. We're just taxing everything. Next thing you know, they're going to be taxing you on the steps you take. It's stupid. It's failed. But we're going to see what happens in California if we get one of these Republican governors. Right now, 2 Republicans are leading in the race for governor. I don't really know what they're going to be able to do with a state legislature that is full of Democrats. But we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to you, RF. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Shout out to you, Sucker Season LA. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. We are at 2. We need 3 more, guys. Let's do 3. Let's get us to 3 more, guys. 3 more super chats of $5 or more. It's a late night. I'm kind of like now I'm kind of motivated behind the goal. Like, man, let's see if we can hit the goal. Let's see if they really in here. Nah, but yeah, it's stupid. And the worst part is, it was totally unnecessary. It was totally unnecessary for things to get to this point. But when you keep promising people free, and people love free, right? But it's like you keep promising that to people, and you know you can't deliver. You know you can't deliver that. But you're going to keep saying it because it makes people go into the voting booth and vote for you. In my opinion, it's a very irresponsible way of leading. Your logic says you'd have more if you left. My logic says that my logic says if I leave, it will be more sustainable. My logic says if I leave, I will have to work less and it will be more sustainable. My logic says I can leave the state for a cheaper state, retire at 50 and just chill all day and make videos. or stay in California and work up until the day I die. That's what my logic says. I mean, you walk outside, you get a street sweeping ticket, that's $95. It's dumb. It's just too expensive in this place, you know? It's too expensive in California and New York. Shout out to my brother Masan SF. Salute. Hey, bro, put us right there with the $10 holler. Thank you. Hey, guys, one more. Am I good for one more? One more and we hit our goal. One more and we hit our goal. Nah, but for real, that's crazy. It's just too expensive, bro. I'm telling you. But I love the Midwest. I've fallen in love with the Midwest. It looks like Stranger Things or just all the movies you grew up watching as a kid. And it's just like, dude, this is a dope place, you know? And I love the Midwest because it's only like 3 hours from Cali. You hop on a plane and you fall asleep and wake up, you're here. And LAX is where everything started. That's where the party starts. You go to LAX, the LA is your oyster. Hit up Stormburger, hit up In-N-Out, you're good. Go do a little shopping, you know, hit the beach, hit South Coast Plaza, get back on the plane and take your ass home. I had cousins who were from Chicago back when I was young. They don't do this anymore. But I had cousins when I was young. They would come from Chicago to shop at the alley in LA. And they would literally come, shop all day, and get on a plane at night and go back home. Their dad worked for, I think American Airlines used to have a hub in Chicago, or maybe they still do. Their dad worked in the baggage loading for American Airlines back when they hired the people directly. And so he would have all these like free tickets, free flights and standby flights and stuff. And my 3 cousins would hop on a plane with their dad, come to LA. They would go down to the alley downtown LA, shop all day. And around 9 or 10 o'clock at night, we'd be driving them back to the airport. They hop on the plane and they was out. And we would go visit them. I go visit them now all the time, once a year or sometimes twice a year. But yeah, they don't do that shit anymore though. It's too expensive. The alley's still decent, but nah. California needs the only thing that would make me stay in California is if there was a drastic economic shift here. But it doesn't look likely because you have a lot of Hispanic people and they work hard, right? But they are, many of them, too many of them, are like emotionally attached to illegal immigrants who are Hispanic, right? So like, even though they know something is bad for the country or bad for the state, they'll still support it because I don't know if they have like survivor's remorse or what, but they just feel like fucking over California is acceptable as long as like more of their illegal family members and cousins get to stay here. And I'm just like, dude, that's not the way that I'm like, I kind of see why Mexico and shit look like the way it do. Shout out to Sticks and Stones, aka Sucker Season LA, for getting us to the goal of $5 super chats before the time was up. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you guys who contributed to the stream. Shout out to my boy Donnie Blitz in the building, the honored guest, star no jumper moderator. He's in the building. But yeah, the show, I think this was a good show, guys. I think this was a good show. Solid. But yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow. I'll do another live stream. And guys, feel free if you want to recommend titles, topics, whatever, let me know. You can send them to me at my email. Let's see, at Gmail. I'm putting in the comments. And I'll definitely cover them. Because I have a hard time deciding what to talk about. Azazel, my brother's in the building. Good to see you here. But guys, I'm going to head out. I'm going to eat dinner real quick before it gets too late. It's already 9. Got me some chicken breast in the oven right now. So I'm going to go eat my little dinner. And Afro Man trial is crazy. I need to talk about that. Yeah, I'm going to cover that in the morning. I'm I'm gonna do a pre-recorded video on Afro Man trial. That shit's crazy, bro. But yeah, so I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate everything you do for me in this channel. Till the next time, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, please take care.